Live from Lincoln, this is Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6 in high definition.
It's hard, but we can do it.
Some of Lincoln's public schools are helping their students who are teen parents. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us.
LPS got a big donation to benefit a unique program.
It involves student-child learning centers. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Rachel Witter has more in tonight's top story.
In 2010, there were 241 teen births in Lancaster County. The goal of these new daycare-type centers is to keep teen parents from having to drop out. 3 Lincoln high schools have student-child learning centers. They're designed to let teen parents stay in high school while also learning to care for their child.
I think it's a real good experience because we also get to go to school and we can learn while we still get to be close to our child. So it's not just us at home as dropouts, and we can succeed in life while they still get to have fun.
The parents are able to take their high school classes while their child is right in the same building as them.
Everything we do in the center focuses on the learning of the babies and giving the parents the skills that they need to be successful in society when they graduate from high school.
To keep centers like this open, it does require money. Though it's mostly funded through grants, Elevate Church in Lincoln wanted to do something to help. The church collected $2,800 to donate to these centers. Money will go towards new cribs. The old ones weren't up to standard.
We're blessed to be able to do this. It's like the schools don't need us, or this program doesn't need us. We need this program.
Elevate Church wanted to do something in honor of Mother's Day. They actually collected all the donations in just one day. The first student-child learning center started at Lincoln High and since then have grown to show up in Lincoln Northeast and North Star, and as well as Bryan Community.
All right, Rachel, thank you.
3 people were taken to the hospital after a rollover accident in North Lincoln. It happened around 3 this afternoon near 44th and Cornhusker Highway. One car flipped onto the median. 3 people were taken to Bryan LGH West to be treated, but we're told none of the injuries are life-threatening. The westbound lanes of Cornhusker were closed for a short time, but they're now back open.
A Lincoln woman sees 2 men stealing from her garage. It happened near 7th and West A around 1 o'clock this morning. The woman saw the men run into her detached apartment garage. They stole a suitcase and a storage bin and then ran to a dark-colored Honda Civic. Lincoln police are reminding people to make sure you keep your garage doors closed at night. If you have any information on this crime, call Crime Stoppers at 475-3600.
1 week ago tonight, it was a potentially deadly situation out at Branched Oak Lake. A boating accident sent several people to the hospital. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Cole Miller joins us with some important reminders. Cole.
Hitting the waves and spending a weekend on the lake can be a great way to get away. But while you're out soaking up the sun and surf, boaters say you still have a responsibility to keep yourself and others safe. It's time to dust off the cobwebs, get the boat in the water, and fire it up. And when you get behind the wheel, boaters say there are a few things to remember.
A little bit different than driving a car. There's not set streets. It's just go where you can and go where you want to.
Which means watching out for yourself and others is huge. Daryl Craigie knows this firsthand.
Biggest thing is out on the lake, paying attention where they're going. Last weekend, there's guys out there, 4 or 5 guys, they're watching their skier, and the boat driver wasn't watching where he was, so he about ran into us. You have to holler at him, and they're just not paying attention.
This was the scene at Branched Oak last Friday. Emergency crews sent 6 people to the hospital after a motorboat slammed into a sailboat. One person had to be life flighted. During the summer months, lakes all across Nebraska, just like Branched Oak, get busy. But that's not the only concern for many boaters. Others are worried about a new state law. This will be the second summer visitors to state parks can consume alcohol.
I wish they would have never allowed that alcohol into the parks. I think they keep it out of the boats, but I think people still drink, and I think you can, when you add alcohol and boating, it just doesn't work.
The driver of the boat in last week's accident was cited for minor in possession. We've tried to contact Nebraska Game and Parks for more information on that accident. Still no word back from them. Again, many boaters say simply being alert and aware can prevent these types of accidents.
Thank you, Cole. And for a complete list of boating do's and don'ts, head to our website, klkntv.com.
Let's get to your weather now. I know we have some rain to our west. Here's Chief Meteorologist Kevin Coskren with the latest.
That's right, Rob. We have some clouds moving in, but well off to the northwest, there are some rain showers, even a couple of rumbles of thunder as well between Valentine and Norfolk. They are in response to a slow-moving cool front, which will be making its way down here later on tonight. So if you have any plans this evening, we should be dry. But as we head toward midnight and after that, chance of a few showers rolling through. High temperatures today weren't bad. A whole lot cooler than yesterday's 80s and 90s. 72 degrees, almost a perfect day for us. Not very humid either, just a tad more humid than yesterday, but really a nice day for us. Now we'll talk more about your weekend forecast, which day looks better than the other one, coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Kevin.
All this week, Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Ian Hest has spoken one-on-one with U.S. Senate candidates. Tonight he wraps up the Republican field as he talks with Attorney General John Bruni.
You've been the front runner for most of this election. How does that work? Do you get nervous heading into Tuesday? What's your feeling?
I feel great. I mean, of course, I'm a little nervous. I think everybody is when you get right close to the finish. I would guess that Bo Pelini will tell you he's just a little bit nervous at the end of the Ohio State game, too. You know, I am. I'm excited, though. Nebraskans have been so responsive. I think we know we have a common goal here. We have to reduce the size and scope of the federal government. $16 trillion in debt. trillion-dollar deficits every year. It's not sustainable. We have to make changes. And so I'm resolved, and I think Nebraskans know, if they send me, the reason is to cut the size and scope of government, get us back into solid financial footing.
Tonight at 10, Ian talks with Bruning about the controversial fairness ordinance.
And who should decide on that proposed fairness ordinance here in Lincoln? The City Council or you, the voter? Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Ashley Harding has reaction.
This coming Monday, city officials will vote whether or not to implement an ordinance which protects members of the gay and transgender community from workplace discrimination. Earlier this week, city officials called a public hearing. Officials with the Lincoln Independent Business Association say we're the ones who should vote on this, not the city council.
If you counted those that testified, almost 100 who testified were opposed to the ordinance. But it wasn't overwhelming either way, and so we just feel this rises to the level that it's important enough to put it to a vote of the people.
Some say Liba brings up a good point.
Well, I suppose if you're going with the whole thing about like democracy and whatnot, let the people decide. So under that logic, I guess I would say it would make sense for it to be on the ballot.
But not everyone agrees. Tyler Richard is with Outlink. It's a nonprofit group aimed at promoting equality. He says we elected our city officials to make decisions. Let them do their job.
All of the times that our protected class list has been changed, it has been done through the City Council. They have done that on 5 different occasions, and we're confident that that's what the City Council is going to do on Monday.
We want to know what you think should voters get to decide. We asked on Facebook. Here's what some of you had to say. Janice says putting it on the ballot would show fairness to more people than the City Council utilizing their opinions only. Trevor says people want equality with special rules for each group. Last I checked, equality means the same for all. And John says the majority never wants to give equality to minorities. You can join the discussion on our Facebook page.
A Lincoln man is accused of trying to entice a girl over the internet. Police say 22-year-old Andrew Scott used Facebook to ask the 15-year-old girl to send nude pictures. They say she sent some with her in her underwear, and then he, according to police, sent her nude photos of himself. The girls found out about this and contacted police. Scott turned himself in yesterday.
The Nebraska Supreme Court says an alleged sexual assault victim can be sent to jail if she refuses to testify about the incident. She lost her appeal after being found in contempt by a Lancaster County judge last year. The woman refused to testify in the trial of a man charged with sexually assaulting her when she was 7. She said it would humiliate her, but now she must do it or face 90 days in jail.
Former Nebraska football star Thunder Collins will not get a new trial. He's currently serving life in prison for a drug-related murder. The Nebraska Supreme Court upheld his sentence today. Collins was convicted of first-degree murder for the 2008 shooting death of a Los Angeles man. Now, his attorney argued for a new trial, saying the jury should have been sequestered during deliberations, but the judges rejected and said no.
We've just learned Husker fans didn't quite have enough votes to bring college game day crews to Lincoln.
The contest received over 900,000 votes, and the winner, Texas A&M, barely edging out Nebraska.
For the first time, ESPN gave more than 120 schools nationwide the chance to bring college game day crews to their campus to shoot a commercial. Nebraska was neck and neck with Texas A&M, but in the end, the Big Red was just under 3,000 votes shy. Nebraska finished with a little more than 220,000 votes. Coming up on Channel 8 Eyewitness News, the Pius boys open up play at the state soccer tournament today with a big win. Brett will have the highlights later in sports.
But first, your weekend forecast. Will some people see a little rain tomorrow morning? Kevin will let you know right after the break.